Painting what you see is the most basic principle of any artist, but the model in this man's painting looked nothing like reality. The person in his canvas had 2 extra hands. Their skin was rotting, with blood seeping out. Beside him, the gifted painter William noticed something strange. As the man painted, his expression was twisted and fierce. Every brushstroke looked like he was fighting the canvas. He was nothing like the other students, who painted in silence and calm. William was deeply confused. He wanted to see what this new transfer student was actually painting, so he pretended to walk over to the sink to wash his hands. Then, from the corner of his eye, he glanced at the canvas. Darkness, ugliness, and pain stabbed into his eyes like a knife. The word heresy exploded in his mind. William was completely stunned. This was nothing like any traditional technique he had ever learned. And yet, that hideous style hooked him completely. He couldn't explain why, but he was utterly drawn to it. From that day on, William suddenly found that he could no longer paint. That strange painting filled his mind. He desperately wanted to know why that transfer student painted that way. Later, he heard from a classmate that the man often went to the cemetery to paint. So that very night, William went there himself. And sure enough, he found him. The man's name was Pickman. He was sketching a dead wildcat. Pickman told him not to misunderstand. The poor cat had probably been killed by the giant rats in this place. William didn't forget why he had come. He praised Pickman's work, saying it had a strange sense of life and imagination. But Pickman said that wasn't what William thought. Then he handed William his sketchbook. Every page was filled with ugly, shadowy monsters. Pickman lowered his voice and said these things weren't made up. He had seen them with his own eyes at home since he was a child. They were hiding beneath the real world. Ordinary people simply couldn't see them. William didn't believe a word of it. He told Pickman to show him proof, so Pickman offered to take him home. The moment William stepped into Pickman's house, he was instantly drawn to the painting on the table. The monster in the painting looked so real, as if it were about to tear through the paper and crawl out. At that moment, only one thought remained in William's mind. Everything he had learned about painting for all these years had been meaningless. This was what painting truly was. But Pickman told him not to be so shocked. He said the thing behind the curtain was what William would remember for the rest of his life. Then he pulled the curtain open. An eerie banquet scene appeared before him. Pickman said the woman in the center of the painting was his great-great-grandmother. Her name was Lavinia. She was the leader of the largest coven of witches in the area. Later, she was tied to a stake and burned alive. The dinner in the painting showed her turning her own husband's head into a meal, then serving it to the coven. William stared at the painting. Then the image began to writhe in a horrifying way. His ears filled with the noise of the banquet, the dying screams of the witch's husband, and the witch's wicked laughter. It was as if all of it were really rising up from beneath the earth.
Do you hear them, Will? Beneath us in the light, my kin.
William was suddenly overcome by nausea. Without even saying goodbye, he staggered out of the room. He rushed downstairs and could no longer hold it in. He bent over and vomited. Just then, a carriage stopped in front of him. Then a hand reached out from inside, motioning for him to come closer.